This is the Business Hour in partnership with Network B2B, helping you share your passion, knowledge, and make great connections.
Now, every week we mention the Business Hour podcast is brought to you in partnership with Network B2B, all about connecting businesses. But I'm with Judith now, and Judith's got a really interesting story about Network B2B, because I think it's fair to say, Judith, when you first came along to a B2B meeting, I think the word skeptical springs to mind.
Oh, definitely. I was terrified, absolutely terrified of networking. I'd been to groups previously in the past just a couple of times and almost bolted at the door, which is ridiculous when you think that I've stood on stages with 400 and odd people in front of me and talked about the subjects that I've got a passion for and helped and supported people. But networking on a personal basis, terrified.
What was it, do you think, that was the terrified bit?
I think the terrified bit was that for me, all these people seemed to be experts in their field. They'd all got successful businesses, or that was my perception. I was new into business. I wasn't sure what it was that I was doing. And I thought that I was going to feel foolish and show myself up. And why would anybody be interested in what it was that I did?
Okay, so what changed then?
What changed was the camaraderie of the people in the groups, the fact that they were willing to share, and many of them could say that they'd been in the past where I was. Some of them were still in the same place, so my perception of them all being well-formed businesses and successful people, some of them were still sorting out at the same point as me. And the fact that they were so welcoming, and we learnt so much from each other. That was really the thing that gave me a buzz, is that I could share and I could help other people and other people helped me in return.
And so you got involved, you joined one of the groups, but then things developed from there, didn't they?
Yes, they did, yes, very, very quickly. Over the years, I've chaired many, many types of different meetings, and Steve seemed to pick up on this in some way, shape or form. As those of you know, Steve will know that he does. And he asked me if I would consider chairing a networking meeting. It's different to chairing other sorts of meetings. It's a challenge, but it's an interesting and it's an enjoyable challenge. So yeah, I agreed to share one of the groups, and things developed even further from there.
So you became a licensee with Network B2B, and now how many groups are you running now?
I'm running 4 groups at the moment. I started in January 2018 running groups, so there was the group that was chairing, 4 of the networking groups. 2 of those are launched. One of them is going to be launching in January, another one we think round about February, and I'm starting 3 more off in January. So I'm now have a target of, I want more groups than Steve's got, and that's going to be a bit of a challenge.
Okay, so yeah, I know, but you know, with B2B it talks about the 3 reasons why people join, and you've touched on the camaraderie, personal development, and new business.
Yeah, all 3 of them, and I would say the most important is camaraderie. That's what most people get from it. It's something that we often, those people that don't understand networking will say, it's cost me X amount to be part of this group and I've only got X amount of business through. But they also need to think about what have they had in experience from other people, and how much would that have cost them in real terms had they had to pay for that service. How much have they been able to do on their business because somebody else has given them some information that's made a positive change for them, and what has that actually been worth to them, because they now know how to do something safely or correctly or positively. It's all of that sort of information. It's the stress that's being removed. So that's the first bit. The second is learning from other people, because there's lots of very generous people around that are prepared to share free of charge their experience, their knowledge with others in the group. And third is, yes, we do gain business, and some people gain a huge amount of business through the networking, but it always seems to be the third or fourth reason for being there.
And we're over at the Bradford, top of the M606, been there at a meeting today. And just picking up on what you're talking about there, because one of the things that makes B2B a little bit different from what I see is, we call it the brainstorm, you call it the conundrum this morning, where people can have opportunity to share maybe a challenge they've got in the business, a bit like a mini mastermind group.
Yeah, very much so. And these mini masterminds can range from anything. This morning we were helping somebody that's having some payment problems with a customer. And because Steve and I are in a number of different groups, we're able to recommend people from other groups so that so it's interconnection across groups, which is great, to help people with that. But we've had people asking about purchasing another business that is way different to the one that they're there, and getting people's thoughts, or can you give me or help me come up with a name for a new part of my business. It's literally a case of anything goes, but being able to have the fun of brainstorming or whatever you want to call it in and amongst with the group is great fun, but really, really helpful to people.
Now your groups are where?
My groups at the moment, I've got one in Bradford on a Friday morning, top of the 606 at the Cedar Court Hotel. I've got another one in Huddersfield at the Manor House Hotel. That's on a Thursday morning. And Wednesday morning, we're in Wakefield all day. So we start off in the morning at the Ramada Hotel first thing. And then we run another group at lunchtime for those people that are either not morning people, and there are people around who don't do mornings, people who have people that they need to care for, children, relatives, etc. first thing in the morning, then they come along at lunchtime.
Brilliant. So if people want to come along, they can check it out at networkb2b.co.uk, as we often say in this podcast.
Absolutely. Check it out on the website. All the details are there. Have a look. And if you see a group that you'd like to go to and somebody's already got your business start, still please get in touch, because as Steve said, we're setting new groups up all of the time, all over the place. So do get in touch with us. Let us know that you're interested.
Brilliant. Well, look, thanks for joining us today, sharing the story about, your story about B2B, from someone who was skeptical to now running their own groups. And that's what it's all about. And I often say, it's all about development, but business networking is a skill as well.
It is definitely a skill.
Brilliant. Well, look, thanks for talking to us today. We'll enjoy our cappuccinos, whatever we've got here. Have a great day.
Like to share news about your business, event, seminar, or workshop? Simply email steve@stevetwynham.com.
Great Yorkshire Business on Great Yorkshire Radio.